there's a great tool out there called Make, M-A-K-E. I think it's make.ai. We'll put it in the show notes with the right link. But basically, you can connect with Make almost any of the tools like Google My Business, your Google Drive, your Gmail, your QuickBooks, your project management software, your Slack for communication, your Zoom, whatever it is, your Google Calendar, to other tools. And then it will use AI and incorporate with ChatGPT or whatever to do whatever you want and automate it. So if you want to do it, your client did, and respond to every single customer review, and you have certain instructions for 5 stars versus 4 stars, 3 stars, 2 stars, 1 star, then uh, it will automate it for you just like your client did, right? And that's an example of how to
Yeah.
do that. But you can also, what's crazy, ask the AI how to automate it and it'll teach you how.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
anyways,
It's amazing.
very cool. Um, we're a little bit different. We're not in construction, obviously. We work with a lot of construction companies, but we use AI a lot. Every one of our team members is using AI. Even in fact, the editing software that we use for this podcast will transcribe every single word from this podcast. And then when we edit the audio, we can go and mix and master and use the audio tools, but we can also just simply edit from the transcript. So when Martin says something off color, like he always
Yeah.
does,
Yeah.
we can just literally edit the document of text and say, oh, we'll take out the bleep, bleep, bleep. And then
He'll
it
take it
will
out of
edit
the
the
video.
audio. It'll take that out of the audio and the video, right? And so that's like an example of how we're using AI here. But for me, I use a tool called Fireflies on every single Zoom meeting that I'm on. It records the video and then it gets a transcript for me. And then it lists out action items that were mentioned. It'll recognize speech patterns. Like it will recognize if I'm listening. It says who's talking more. Am I doing more of the talking, or is the client or the whatever guest on the call doing more talking? It'll recognize like feeling statements. It'll recognize, um, all sorts of stuff. And I can then connect that to my project management software, and it will add it to I have a task in my project management software for the meeting. It will add the transcript, but it'll also add tasks to that meeting of all the action items. And then I can just delete the ones that I don't want in there. So there's a lot of different things like that that you can do where it's just making it more efficient.
There,
Um,
I don't know. I know that it's available. I don't know the name and I don't know how to use it. But from a standpoint of theoretical versus kind of like, oh, that'd be cool. I'm going to do that.
yeah,
Automate my Christmas cards, which is valuable, but that's probably not going to happen today for a lot of guys. One thing that
sure.
does is scheduling. I think we had a guest on and he really nailed it when he said the two big risk points are scheduling and bidding. In other words, did I bid it right? Do I have a chance of making money? And the second one is my schedule even close? Because you can bid it with good money, but if your schedule's off, you'll lose everything. You outpace your cash flow. One thing I'm interested in understanding how it does, uh, and we don't have to answer it here. I just want to know that it's out there, is something that monitors your jobs and begins to teach you. Yeah, you're right. You say that's going to take 4 days, but we've done it 20 times now and it takes 9 days, right? So you begin to learn how your scheduling works, not based on an Excel spreadsheet, but based on historic fact, right? That's one that really
Yeah.
intrigues me. I don't know what that software is. I know it's out there. Maybe you know what the software is, but I want to look into that and get my clients using it because that's a huge issue. How do I schedule?
Yeah. Yeah. No, I don't know a specific scheduling app, but I know they're out there. I know there's you can create Gantt charts through AI where you just put in
Yeah.
little variables and what your criteria are. It creates the Gantt chart for you. Um, I One that I think on the personal side, that I think is really great, that I've started using recently, because personal finances matter a lot, especially as the business owner. Um, I mean, it's huge. And so Monarch is a really great tool. I think it's monarchmoney.com, but it has AI directly integrated into it. So like all the transaction categorization stuff is really helpful. But then basically it's basically got like a almost like a financial advisor aspect to it where you can say, where do you think I can cut the most costs in my personal budget? And it'll give you very clear information on, hey, these are all your subscriptions. Do you really use all of these? It'll tell you about your eating habits, things like that. I mean,
But this
it's
is, hooked
very
up to your bank and credit cards.
bank and credit cards. It tells you everything you need to know. It'll tell you, you know, I mean, it's really intuitive, wonderful tool. Highly recommend it. Um, but it's just you're gonna have a lot of the heavy lifting. Like, there's so many things as a business owner that you need an advisor for your insurance, for your bookkeeping, for just finance in general, for taxes, for HR, for anything like that. And AI is going to be able to support you in those things. It's not going to be perfect. It's not going to completely replace an advisor, but you have a legal question, check with ChatGPT first, right? And then maybe follow up with your attorney, right? You're not sure about something tax related. I mean, all of the tax platforms now, what is it?
I mean, like
TurboTax,
TurboTax and yeah,
TurboTax,
those
HR Block, they all have AI integrated on it. Um, so, the things that are very structured, like there's a tax code that you have to follow, there's clear rules to it. It's going to be able to know those rules very clearly. The things where it's very ambiguous are a little bit harder, but if there's a strict set of rules with it, it's much easier. If there's clear data, like with Monarch Money, it's using your bank accounts and credit card statements, it's clear data, it's going to be able to do really well for you.